Alright, good morning y'all. Welcome to another video on the Luterco Arms channel. So today we got a bunch of little minor jobs we got to do on the Cherokee, so I figured I'd take you along. So this job we're doing right now is we re-geared this rear end under here, put 488 gears in it in a Detroit locker. And since we did that, we've been running it a little while, so we need to go ahead and change the oil, put some fresh oil in it. So we're going to do that. And of course this video probably won't be of much use to you very experienced guys, but you know, not everybody has the same experience as all of us. So I've got this G2 differential cover on mine, so it makes it real easy because you got a drain plug and a fill plug up here, and then a check plug. So I can just pull the plug right here and drain the oil, easy peasy. Which I already loosened these up, but I like this rear end cover because when you get your oil, when you get water in it or stuff from four-wheeling, you can just drain it without having to pull the cover off every time. So we'll pull this plug out, and we got a little bit of glitter, which we should, because we were wearing in a set of gears. Nothing bad though, looks about right, no big chunks. So basically we're just going to let that drain for a little bit, and then we'll come back and put oil back in it. But if you've still got the factory diff cover, you've got a different animal to play with. So let me show you what you got to do for that. Oh, let me roll back out of here. Grab a towel real quick, wipe my hand off. So if you don't have an aftermarket diff cover with the drain plug and everything like I have, you've probably got this factory cover for the 8 1/4 rear end. It's got the rubber plug here in it, and there's no drain plug. So if that's what you've got and you want to drain your oil, what you got to do is loosen this top bolt and just turn it back in 1 or 2 threads, and then pull the rest of these bolts out. Leave that bolt in there. Take you a screwdriver and break the seal loose on this, and the oil will drain out into your drain pan. And once it does, then you can go ahead and take that last screw out, pull this off. You'll have to clean up the inside of it, clean off your old gasket, and clean off the gasket on the differential, and then put a new gasket on there and put that back on, and then you'll fill it right here at this little rubber plug. And all you got to have to get that plug off is a little flathead screwdriver. It's pretty easy. You just pop it out. It's just rubber, so you just get your screwdriver in there and pop that thing out of there. You can put your oil back in and then put your plug in. So this rear end holds right at 2.5 quarts of oil according to the chart. But what you'll do, if you've got this cover, you'll just fill it until it reaches the hole there, and then put your plug back in. If you've got an aftermarket cover, what I do, because you never know if the check plug is actually in the right place or not, I'll pull the check plug out and I'll put the two, it's 4.8 pints is the capacity, but you've usually got some residual in there, so it's usually not a full, it's two pints in a quart. So once you get that drained out of there, and you can add your oil, and usually what I do is add 2 quarts and see where it's at in that check plug, and then go accordingly. Because this differential cover also has a magnetic plug, which is nice. Even though you can't see anything in the cover, you know if there were any big chunks of metal, they'd be on that plug. So we can put our plug back in now that the oil is out. Tighten that back down a little bit. It don't take a lot of torque because it's just aluminum. And then we'll pull our check plug out. Cool. And I'll grab my oil and pull this fill plug out. So I'll be right back. Let me grab some oil. Okay, so I've got my fill plug here. If you've got the original style differential cover, you'll pull your rubber plug out and you'll put the oil in and check it in that same plug. In this one, I'll put the oil in here till it starts coming out here, and I keep track of how much I'm putting in there. And it's, like I said, it's supposed to be 4.8 pints of the gear oil. I use this Valvoline synthetic 75-140 gear oil. And the problem I've had with this is that there's not enough room here for me to get the bottle up in here and then leaned over. I can't line it up here with the hole because of the fuel tank skid. I can't cock the bottle over enough to get it in the hole. So what I do is I have this old this is one of these Valvoline flex fill, and then you can just stick it right in there. So we'll go ahead. I just dump this oil into this bag. So this bag says 75-90, but it's actually 75-140. I just have it in this bag to make it easier for me to get it into the differential. And you can squeeze this bag and it just squeezes the oil right in there. It's really nice. If they'd have had the 75-140 in this bag, I'd have just bought it in the bag already. But when I ordered the case of it, it came in the quart bottles instead of the bags. So, which is no problem. So now I'm going to fill this bag back up with oil again and finish up. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got almost 2 quarts in here, and this is what I was talking about with the difference between the check plug on this differential and the actual where the oil ought to be. So we'll put that plug back in there, and we know that we have put about 1 3/4 quarts in there already, so we know 1/2 quart or so, and we should be good. So if you've got one of these, you know, these things have the little rubber gasket on them, so you don't need to over tighten the crap out of them. So we'll finish with this here. Another thing you need to take into consideration too, if you have a lift kit, is the angle that your axle is sitting at. Because you can see here, let me grab this other thing and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you got a replacement, and you'll see that the plug in the factory axle is right about here. So this is lower. So you'll want to fill the oil up to that area there, especially on these rear axles where the oil goes out to the bearings, the outboard bearings. So basically you get your oil filled back up. If you've got the factory differential, you'll have to just put your rubber plug back in. If you've got something like this, you'll put your plug back in, and that's it. You're good to go. You don't have to change this oil very often. Usually it gets changed if you do a lot of water fording, deep mud. If you get contamination in there, you know, you check it whenever you change your oil. You kind of see if there's water in the oil. If there is, you need to change it. So it's a piece of cake. Not much to it, but that's how you do it. So hopefully this has helped somebody out or whatnot, and I appreciate y'all watching, supporting the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Y'all have a good one.